I signed the divorce papers, I voluntarily gave up custody of my daughter, because that day, in the courtroom, she clung to her father's neck, sobbing with all the fury a 6-year-old could muster. You don't even love me, do you? If you leave Daddy, I'll stay with him, and you'll be all alone forever. In my past life, I had ignored her childish threats. I fought tooth and nail for her custody. I poured every ounce of myself into raising her. And yet, she spent her entire life hating me. Not once did she ever call me mom until the day I died. On her wedding day, she even invited her father's mistress to the stage to give a speech of thanks. Now, opening my eyes again, seeing that same cruel little face staring back at me, I simply nodded. I don't care. After all, I never wanted a daughter like her anyway. The moment the words left my mouth, the two people in front of me froze as if they'd been struck by lightning. They stared at me in disbelief. Victor was stunned for a split second. Then he snapped, swearing under his breath. What the hell are you saying? In front of a child? I glanced at Lily, who was hiding in his arms, and repeated calmly. I said, if she doesn't want to stay with me, that's fine. Then I added, without hesitation, I don't want to give birth to such an unpleasant child either. If he still didn't understand, I could spell it out more clearly. I don't want her. I enunciated every word deliberately, slowly, making sure each syllable landed. As soon as I finished speaking, Lily, who had been burying her face and crying hysterically, trying to force me to change my mind, suddenly lifted her head. She looked at me and then burst into loud, heartbroken sobs. Her face was streaked with tears and snot. You're a terrible mom. I hate you. I don't want you. She flailed in Victor's arms, squirming so hard he almost dropped her. Victor gritted his teeth and held her tighter, lowering his head to hers. Hey kiddo, calm down, he murmured. You know your mom loves you, right? She brought you into this world. She's been there for you every step, even when things got messy. We all know you're her favorite. Under his gentle coaxing, Lily's crying gradually faded. She clung to his arm like an octopus, wrapped her small arms around his neck, and asked in a trembling voice, really? Of course, Victor replied. Then he glanced at me meaningfully. Why don't you ask your mom yourself? Lily looked over at me, her eyes red and swollen, full of expectation. But I didn't move. I didn't even lift my eyelids. I maintained the same cold, indifferent posture. It was as if Lily had been stung. Her mouth twisted, and it looked like she was about to cry again. Victor finally lost his patience. His face darkened as he glared at me. What is wrong with you? Wanting a divorce is bad enough, but now you don't even want your own child? Do you even deserve to be a mother? I let out a soft, mocking laugh. Didn't she say first that she didn't want me as her mother? I replied coolly. I'm simply respecting her wishes. Lily's small body stiffened. Then she glared at me with all the hatred she could muster. You're the one who didn't want me and Dad in the first place, she shouted. If you really respected my opinion, why are you still insisting on a divorce? My biggest opinion is that you shouldn't get divorced. Why won't you listen? You never wanted us anyway. You want me to become a child with no parents. In my previous life, she had said the exact same things. She had accused me of being selfish. She had threatened that if I dared to divorce her father, she would never acknowledge me as her mother again. Because she was still young, I didn't argue with her. Instead, I explained patiently. I told her it was because her father had another woman outside the marriage. That was why I chose to leave. I thought that if I said it clearly, she would understand. What I got in return was her innocent yet vicious question. You're not good enough, right? That's why Dad had to go to someone else. Sophia's mom. She's everything you're not. Pretty, successful, loved by everyone. Her dad would never leave her. You're not good enough. Dad doesn't want you. I don't want you either. I felt my heart shatter, like falling into an endless, icy chasm. A kind of despair I had never known before swallowed me whole. I had always believed that even if I